Well, hello everybody, this is Explorer 867, and today's the first day of the rest of your life, so get out and enjoy it. Get out and see something new. Today, here in Central Oregon, we're having a little bit of a snow event. Depending on the weather reports you look at, we expect anywhere from 3 to 10 inches. So today we'll take you out and go for a short hike and set up a campfire, cook some coffee, and have a mountain house freeze-dried meal. Come along with me and we'll do some adventuring. So we got a little bit of snow on the road here. It's, I don't know, we've got probably an inch of snow here. Not too bad. Mostly what's coming down right now is powder. Though later on today they say that we've got quite a storm blowing in, and we're going to get hit with anywhere from 3 to 10 inches of snow. So we'll just kind of see what comes of that. Always said I should have been a weatherman. You only have to be right half the time and you still get your paycheck at the end of the week. Not too many people heading out this way today. There's a few. This road goes back into one of my camps, and as you can see, it's kind of wild and woolly back in here. Got a little bit of snow coming down. I apologize for the streaks on the windshield. The wipers, it's pretty cold out, and the wipers are kind of freezing a bit, so they don't clear the windshield like they might otherwise. We'll go back in here. We'll go back in here about 5 miles and set up a campfire. It's really beautiful out here this time of the year. As you can see, some trees have gone down, and that's kind of a malady out here. Whenever you're traveling the backcountry, or really any time of the year, but especially in the winter time, when we get the winds coming through here and the snow start to come in, it'll blow some of these dead trees down, and if you don't have a chainsaw or a saw adequate to cut them and move them out of the way, you can be stuck back here for a while. Of course, I've got a winch on the truck, and I do carry a saw with me, so I'm in good shape. But you always want to have, on especially these winter travel days like this, you always want to have communication capability. And so this area here, the cell coverage is a little bit dicey, but I do have cell coverage intermittently. I also carry the Spot satellite communicator, so I can get a message out if I should have an issue out here. It's a handy device. I did a video on that here a month ago or so. We used that everywhere we went up in Alaska. When we'd fly out to some of the remote lakes and the remote camps, we'd have that with us, and that way we could send a message out to let people know that we were okay, and if need be, we could have got a message out to get help if something occurred. Just love it out here this time of the year. It's so quiet, except for the wind in the trees. And we are supposed to get some wind today, 20 to 30 mile an hour winds. So we'll be cognizant of that. And if the winds get to kicking up too much, we'll head back in so we don't have to deal with the trees, downed trees here. Okay, so we'll turn off here into the area where I parked the truck. This is an awesome area back in here. You just never see hardly anybody else back here. Okay, so we're here. What I'll do is I'll get out of the truck here and I'll just do a look-see around the perimeter of the truck, make sure that there's no dead trees within proximity of the truck. So while I'm parked, I don't have to worry about, you know, something blowing down on the truck if the wind comes up. Okay, so we're heading back into the camp now. It's a gorgeous day. Gorgeous winter day. Well, in the spring and summer and fall, there's a lot of deer out in here. And bear as well. I did have a small black bear come into one of my trail cameras out here in late summer. It's hilarious. I was playing the footage back on the computer after I brought the chip back home, and all of a sudden, boop, here's this bear nose poking in the camera. Well, it's about a half-mile hike in here. It's not too bad. Okay, and we're coming into camp is loose, used loosely. I don't leave any improvements out here, other than you can see where I've limbed some trees up here. I leave it natural, one, so it doesn't really stand out to anybody that this is my camp, and two, I like to leave things natural so the next person coming out here can have a great experience, wild experience, just like I do. So let's go ahead. I'll set the camera up here, and then I'm gonna trim some limbs, get the fire laid, and we'll go ahead and light a fire and cook up some water for a mountain house. I'm going to have breakfast for lunch, and I'll show you what I'm going to have in a minute. And these are the best gloves, these mechanics gloves. I always buy them so they fit real tight, and that way you have the reasonable dexterity. Call it glove dexterity. Okay, and this is what we're going to have for lunch, breakfast for lunch. These are really good. Okay, I'm going to build what's called an upside down fire. Basically the big stuff on the bottom building up to the small. Underneath these pine trees in here, these are jack pine. You can always, even in the wintertime, find some mostly dry, if not completely dry, wood, you know, the lower limbs, what we used to call in Boy Scouts, we used to call it squaw wood. Okay, and these are our cotton balls that are saturated in petroleum jelly. Vaseline is really, you know, that's a brand name. Vaseline is just petroleum jelly. Just kind of pull them apart. And what you're doing is you're kind of spreading those fibers out so that when you use the ferrocerium rod, it has something to catch. So there you go. This upside down fire method works really well. You want to lay your fire material so it kind of meshes out like this, and that way the oxygen can get from underneath and come up into the fire, and it'll combust much better. You'll have far fewer problems with getting a fire started, even in the wintertime. Okay, so according to this, you want 1.5 cups. Okay, so we've got our water boiling. Let's go ahead and open this up. Always make sure to get the oxygen absorber out. And we'll just dump this in here. I'm going to get some coffee water going, or tea water, whichever. Set that next to the fire so it kind of stays a little on the warm side while it's reconstituting. This is probably just about done. Temperature out here right now, it's about 25. 24, 25. Oh my gosh. That is ready. I'll bet the tea is too. Pull this off so it cools down to the point where I can actually drink it. So this tea, this is ginger and turmeric. It's really quite good. If you've never tried it, it's really good, and it's good for you. It's a break from the coffee I drink all the time. Oh boy. This is really good. This is that Mountain House freeze-dried breakfast skillet. It's got hash browns, scrambled eggs, pork sausage, everything all mixed in together. There's really enough in here for 2 people. Something to always know is that on these pine trees, if you go right up to the trunk of the tree, the main trunk of the tree, the limbs that come out that are dead on the bottoms of these trees, about sometimes 2 to 4 inches of that out from the trunk of the tree. When you cut that off, that section is just full of pitch. So it's what they call fat wood. So if you're out like this and struggling to get a fire going, if you can harvest yourself some pieces of that fat wood and then take your knife and split it into pieces, it makes a real good fire starting material. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video today and the campfire. And it's been a fun hike out here today. We've got probably another inch of snow, inch and a half of snow since we've been out here. And what a great time. So anyway, this is Explorer 867. Give me a thumbs up if you like the video. Click on the subscribe button and click on the bell. You'll get the latest content from the channel as I release it. And as always, I look forward to seeing you in the great outdoors.